This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. It's Fight Camp, it's week 3, the final week. The final fight of Fight Camp will be Joshua Buatsi's fight with Ricard's Bolotniks. How are you, mate?
I'm not too bad, Kug. Happy to be back here. I saw you not long ago in Manchester when I boxed, so it's good to be back out here, man. Quick turnover is what we wanted, so we got that.
After our post-fight interview, I had a lot of messages going, KUGAN, send me a picture of your coat. I don't know if you remember your comment.
Yep. Again, they can't see what you got on, but you've come all out with the Palm Angels again. You even got a top this time. So if you can't see him, the guy's looking clean again. I see your Gucci bag there too. You're living, man.
Do you know what? It's a boring story. I've had that since I started IFL, 10 years. But I feel like it needs to go soon. I feel like an upgrade's coming soon.
Nah, you deserve it, man. You work hard as well, you see what I'm saying? But no, I'm happy to be here. Saturday's fight now, so I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Let's talk about the fight. Ricard's Bolotniks. And people who've watched kind of the Golden Contract will know exactly what Bolotniks is all about. And for me, in your career, in your 14 fights, this would be your number 15 fight. This seems to be possibly, in my opinion, your toughest challenge. Is that correct, or is that subjective?
On paper, it's been down as that, and like you said, people have seen him on the Golden Contract. You've seen him, so I guess it's a familiar face and someone that got good rankings. So people are like, yeah, this guy's legit. So we'll see, man. I think from the outside we can say a lot of things, but it's when we get in and the bell rings 2-3 rounds deep, we'll see what's happening, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Around 2 weeks ago, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who's a casual boxing fan, and we're talking about you. And they were like, yeah, I'm not sure about that, Buatsi. I said, why is that then? They said, well, he's not fought any of them, is he? He's not fought what the conversations we have all the time. But for people that don't know, they know that boxing's a business. So sometimes the fights don't make sense. And I was trying to explain this, that, you know, it's not necessarily Josh's fault. Josh will fight anyone, but if the fight doesn't make sense to his team and his promoter, etc., the fight doesn't happen. But I think for you, this fight here kind of will signify a statement of intent, I believe, with Bolotniks.
Yeah, I feel people have said, you know, when are you going to step up? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? And like you said, sometimes it's not that straightforward. If it were up to me, things would have, you know, moved a bit quicker, or I would have been in certain fights, but sometimes they're not straightforward. But this fight is here, it's straightforward, it's been made. We both tested negative for COVID, that was the most important thing. That's the first thing I wanted to cross off, and we both done that, and tomorrow we both make weight. So we're here, we have a fight that people should be interested in, because they're like, oh, we want you to fight someone good, so we've got something like that now. So it's here now, Kug. There's no turning back.
Just on the flip side of what I was just talking about it not just being your decision, you could want to fight, but like I said, it's almost like you've got to speak to your team, management, etc., and it's got to make sense for everyone, financially, for your career, etc. But from an opponent situation, if you want someone and you really want them, does your team kind of take it on board that that's the fight that we're looking for, or does it not work like that?
It doesn't, because, for example, as you know, I should have fought, not that I should have, but a fight with Yash should have happened, some would say last year or the year before, whenever it is, but it just can't happen because I'm not with the same promoter that he's with. So sometimes the promoters will clash. I used to box on Sky, he boxes on BT, so that's not going to work either. So sometimes it's definitely out of our hands as the boxers. If I want to fight someone, that's one thing, but they also want to have to fight me. And then it's like, cool, who's going to do the purses, whose show is it going to be on, how much is this person getting paid, how much is that person getting paid, are both parties happy with it? So it's not straightforward. It helps when both fighters want to fight each other, cool, but there's more to it. Are we with the same promoters? Do we fight on the same TV channel? There's like things to talk about. So I guess from the outside, people can always blame the athletes and the boxers, but it's not that straightforward. But I can't take it personal, man. Like, it is what it is.
No, boxing ultimately, and people don't like to hear this, is a business. And I know that, like I said, I've always said the majority of fighters, I won't say everyone, but I'd say the majority of fighters will fight anyone. But sometimes there's a lot of politics that go around to make that situation not possible.
No, there is, man. contracts as well. You know, if someone might be tied in a contract, you might want to fight someone, but I don't know, you might not even have the rankings to fight him. You might want to fight them because you're both from the same area, and he might be at a higher stage than you are. So you're just calling him out for no reason because he's looking onto bigger and better things, but you're trying to draw him in. So there's different things, Coog, man. There's so many examples and things to consider, but ultimately for myself now, we've got to fight with a good opponent. That's all that matters.
So far for you in your career, in your 14 fights, all good. I'm assuming kind of since you turned professional, you probably, being 14-0, would like to have been maybe 17-0. We know you obviously have had injury issues in the past, but that's kind of part and parcel of boxing that you spent a little bit of time out of the game, didn't you, really? People got to realise as well.
Yeah, man. For example, after the Olympic Games, when I didn't have my debut till 11 months. That's almost a year. So I didn't turn pro straight away. Things have happened as well where I've been inactive. But I always say to people, Cook, you have to be positive in life. You have to be optimistic. I'm not sitting here saying, I'm 14-5, 14-3. No, I'm telling you, I'm here undefeated, 14-0. We can always criticize this, that, and that, but I'm in the present now. This is what I'm saying to you. So it's like, yeah, I've been a pro for 5 years. Well, no, the Games was 5 years ago. I've been a pro just over 4 years. And earlier on, somebody asked me, why is it that it seems that you're maybe closer to a title shot now than all your other Olympic friends that went? And I'm like, it's different. Different people, different weight categories, different challenges. Stop the comparisons. When it's all said and done, did I win a championship belt? Did they win a championship belt? If the answer is yes, then it's like, cool, we got to the end goal. So people talk and everything, but as athletes, you have to stay, grounded and with your team and your plan, and you follow that.
Obviously, Virgil Hunter is here. Seen him briefly a couple of times during this week. How's that relationship developing?
It's been good, man. There's a lot more understanding. Still building, learning. Each camp, there's things that I learned. I'm like, wow, didn't know that existed. I want to do more of that. He'll see different things and say, okay, cool, I want you to work more on this. Different drills, I've been there, only 2 camps, so there's so many more things that I'm going to learn, so it excites me.
Another question I always get thrown about, not necessarily on social media, but just in general, people go, Buatsi, when he turns it on, is as spiteful as they come in the ring. Outside of the ring, he seems pretty laid back, etc. But then I've spoken to a couple of people over the last few months that said, like, if Buatsi's pushed, you'll see the other side to him as well.
Yeah, I think that's for most fighters. That when a camera's on, we're cool. You want to come across cool, normal, calm, which I am in general. But that's because no one has stepped out of line, and if they do, you just have to do what you have to do, man. Like, we get in the ring, we still fight. But prior to that, everyone's cool. No one stepped out of line, so it's sensible. But if I disrespect you, I'm going to see a different side to you. Same way if someone disrespect me, they'll see a different side to me. And in the ring, there's going to be a heavy punishment for them.
Josh, the reason I mentioned this is because yesterday I was talking to Johnny Fisher, the heavyweight, and who's quite kind of relaxed and chilled, etc. And he said that there's no opponent that will ever kind of push his buttons. And I said, until you're in that situation, you don't know how you're going to react. And he was like, no, I know, I'm just going to remain. He said, like, I don't need to call people out. I don't need to be kind of... I said, I understand what you're saying right now, being 3-0. But as your career progresses, when someone finds the right buttons to push, you don't know how you're going to react. And I think I'm right in saying that.
Yeah, they'll push it. That's absolutely right. And even sitting here, like you said, no one's really done that to me. So I don't really know how I'm going to react. But I, like, man to man, come on. Like, it's boxing. We're all trying to remain cool, calm, come across as nice and which we probably are anyways, but once the bell goes, we do what we have to do. But outside it, I say to people, boxing is a very prideful sport. You've seen it when both men are in there. Our pride is on the line. Everything is online. So just because we're not in the ring doesn't mean the pride's still not there. It's there. We just control it a little bit, try to be civil and X, Y, and Z. But if it's pushed, then we'll deal with that as well.
In your opinion, or how shall I word this, ideally for you, how long before you're challenging for a world title?
this is a good gauge. It's as simple as that. This will be a good gauge to see where I'm at, and from this, we should know where I'm at. So it's that simple. This is a good gauge.
I really think, honestly, this was when the fight camps were announced. This was one of the fights I thought to myself, fair play to you, because I've watched Bolotniks, not just in the Golden Contracts, and I know when people look at his record and they see he's got 5 losses, don't take no notice of that, because this guy's like, as game as they come, he's coming to beat you. So that's what you need.
Yeah, I was told, I think 2 days ago, that a lot of fighters have been offered this fight to fight him, and they've always turned it down. But I just said, when my team was offered, we said yes straight away. We didn't think about it. I was like, cool, that's cool. We'll have it. My coach said, cool. And the fight was made. So, it's come now, and we're here, Coog. I'm not sure why you're smiling, but the fight's here, Coog.
No, I'm smiling because I'm really intrigued by this fight, because I spoke to Bolotniks earlier on and I said, are we going to expect a war? Because I know the style that he'll come with. You've got a few styles that you could kind of put out on Saturday. No, of course. I know you're not kind of one-dimensional at all. And I'm not saying he is, but we kind of know the way Bolotniks will most probably approach this fight. But I just said to him, this is obviously, it's got to be a war, surely, isn't it? But I don't know, because I don't know your mind of thought. Are people expecting a war, so you come with the boxing? Or are they thinking Buatsi's going to meet him in the middle of the ring? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, and that's the exciting thing, Coog. We have to wait till Saturday to find out, am I going to hit and move, or am I going to say, forget this, I'll see you in the middle, mate. Go head-to-head till someone quits, and it's not going to be me, like, we'll see. And that's the intriguing thing about boxing, Coog. There's different styles and different methods that I could use. As long as I win, that's it. So if I have to go head-to-head, we go head-to-head. If I have to box, I'll box. But I think it'll be a fight where I'll be able to do both.
Yeah, I think people that have kind of watched your career and know you even from the amateur days will know that if you need to adapt at any point, whether it's meeting in the middle of the ring or having to use your boxing brain, you're capable of doing both.
Yeah, I'll show both. If I have to box, like I said, Coog, I will. If it's a fight, we'll do a fight. He said it's going to be a 12-round fight a 12-round streak fight. You don't get to pick what it's going to be, bro. Like, we'll get in there and we'll see what happens. You don't tell me what's going to be and we stick to that. It's not like that. So Saturday's almost here, man.
It's great interviewing you before weighing day, because I know what to expect. The thick beard, the little bit of a bushy hair, but we know come like in a couple of days that all goes off.
Yeah, man. I haven't had a haircut for about 8 weeks, so it will be nice to get a trim tomorrow after the weigh-in. Look different on Saturday. Feel good and get ready to fight. My shorts came to this morning as well, so it was good to see them as well. So it's good, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Joshua, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
The same message I've been saying. Every day above the ground, Coog, is a good day. So we're grateful. Be happy to be alive. If you're under the ground, life's over. You're dead. You're done out here. But if you're above the ground, you're living. You're blessed, man. Trust me.
Love that. Every day above the ground is a good day. It's so right. It's so true.
No matter how good or bad the day is going, it's still a good day because you're above the ground. Once you die and they bury you, that's it. So if we're above the ground, it's a good day, right? So that's just kind of what I've been thinking about recently.
I use a different kind of terminology. When people go to me about, oh, should I do that? I say, well, listen, I said, you could walk across that street tomorrow and get hit by a bus. So do it. If you want to do something, do it now. That's true, isn't it? Because you generally could. Me and you could go to like the garage up the road and both get hit by a bus. It's true. But I always use that hit by a bus because it's very true. Life is very short and unpredictable. So if you want to do something, fucking do it. Mama language.
Yeah, no, it is very short, unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. So, again, if you're above the ground, it's a good day. You and I are above the ground today. Those that are watching, you're above the ground. It's a good day, man.
If they're watching, you're definitely above the ground. Mr. Buatsi, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. We'll definitely grab a word with you after your fight on Saturday. It's going to be a very exciting fight. I think the fans tuning in, or if you're one of the select 300 people that have paid $7.50 for the ticket, fair play to you. You'll be there in a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And yeah, Saturday night will be banging.
No, it would be good, Coog. And for those that I told you there was 1,000 ticket allowance, I'm sorry, I got the numbers wrong. Like Coog said, it's 300. I don't know where I was trying to squeeze in the other 700 people, but It'll be a good show, so make sure you tune in.
Trying to make a few quid on the sly, would you?
I've been telling people, yeah, there's 1,000 tickets available. Make sure you get it. Today I found out it's 300. So if you're part of the 300, we respect you and we thank you. Make sure you tune in.
1,000 tickets. Wow. Josh, don't know who's telling you that. I'd get rid of whoever told you that. I'd get rid of him if I was you.
He's sitting behind you, so after we're gonna have a word.
No,
It was
which
you.
one?
No, it was you.
No, he's cool.
Man, I'm telling you, it was Will.
It's not Will. It's not Will.
You told me 1,000. 1,000 tickets. So I've been telling
I've
you.
got to stick up for Will here. Will wouldn't have said that. Will's too accurate to make that mistake.
Okay, maybe someone else told me, but I'll speak to you after the camera.
Maybe you misheard him.
1,300. There's a big difference. You see what I'm saying? You can't mix it up. But we'll speak after the camera switched off.
Yeah, there we go. Which is in about 3 seconds. Joshua Buatsi, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Best of luck. Great fight. Another stage in your progression. And best of luck to you.
I appreciate it, guys. Make sure you tune in. Thank you.